15 assets that make people rich. Welcome to Luxio, where we give you insights on the latest trends in luxury, lifestyle, and business. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to not miss out on more inspiring videos and connect with a like-minded community interested in building wealth. Let's take a look at what contributes to the portfolios of the wealthiest individuals. In this video, we will focus on what we should do to your incoming money to build up your wealth. But first, let's familiarize ourselves with the difference between assets and liability. The main difference between assets and liabilities is that assets provide a future economic benefit, while liabilities present a future obligation. In short, assets put money in your pocket while liabilities take your money out. So let's not make you wait any further. Here are the top 15 assets that are making rich people richer. Number 1. Real estate. Real estate represents 60% of the world's standard resources and a huge piece of all public, corporate, and privately invested money. With that in mind, real estate plainly merits consideration from any individual or business searching for asset classes in which to invest a part of their capital. There are two reasons why real estate is a good one. First is rental property. As a rental property owner, you'll have an opportunity to secure a steady income stream, all the while building equity and letting your investment property appreciate in value. Also, you'll reap a number of tax benefits. Property owners with tenants can deduct numerous expenses associated with generating rental income, including home repairs, improvements, and depreciation. You can also deduct mortgage interest. Second is appreciation. Even with a COVID outbreak, more and more people are still in need of a place to live or rent, so the prices of properties are constantly going up. This is guaranteed to make a good real estate business. In terms of real estate assets, these are the best investments you should own: residential buildings, commercial buildings, and lands. Number 2. Stocks. Stocks are not generally so muddled as those Wall Street firms make you believe. Stocks are a simple way for you to claim a level of public business. Assuming that a business issues 1 million shares and you own it, you own 10% in 1 million of those shares in the business. This unimaginable leap forward in the monetary tools has permitted the normal individual to claim a stake in the absolute most worthwhile organizations of our day with an exceptionally low section boundary. There are numerous platforms out there that permit you to buy this kind of offer and venture. In the financial exchange, the most widely recognized and trending platforms for purchasing and exchanging stocks today are Plus 500, eToro, Trade 245, Robinhood, and Revolut. Thus, in any case, we're not associated with any of these organizations. Number 3. Equipment. Whatever produces cash for you or assists you bringing in cash quicker is viewed as an asset. Assuming you own a factory, the forklift is an asset. Or if you're a software developer, the computer is an asset. Assuming you're an Uber driver, your vehicle is an asset. Whether or not something is an asset or a liability changes in the event that it had an immediate relationship to the money you created. Even if your pay is straightforwardly reliant upon the vehicle, getting one considers a risk. It's exceptionally normal that individuals get confuse the two. They attempt to legitimize it as a resource when actually they come up short dealing with their own accounts because of the absence of control. You don't have to get the most expensive equipment for such a simple task. Number 4. Trademarks. Trademarks secure your images, words, or expressions. It's really clear why this is nothing to joke about with regards to the logo or the name of the brand. However, here's the place where things get very fascinating. Assuming you own an important brand name that has an attractive worth, you can give permission to involve it for business purposes and discussion. For instance, Michael Buffer, who in 1992 reserved the expression you can now see on your screen. It's really infectious and engaging. You know precisely the way that it sounds, and each and every time it is said, you really want to compose a check to Michael. Since reserving it, he's made more than 400 million just from one expression. Brand names can be local or global, however amazing good fortune implementing them. Furthermore, to keep things intriguing, one with regards to 5 US organizations says there are organizations in China encroaching on their licensed innovation. This is really one of the primary motivations behind why China has been developing rapidly. The total dismissal for licensed innovation privileges, China is taking more than 600 billion in IP from the remainder of the world each and every year. Anyway, let's go back to the assets. Number 5. People. There's a deeper understanding on how important an asset individuals are until they leave. Not many individuals comprehend that organizations aren't really genuine. Companies are a fabrication of our creative mind, proved by the state. Organizations are names, thoughts, and advancement occurring under this fanciful umbrella. And who thinks of these? It's the people. A solitary individual can move an organization with their thoughts. Simply check out the effect replacing Steve Jobs with the previous Pepsi CEO had on the organization, almost bankrupting what is today presumably the most cherished innovation brand. Diving further into Apple, their lead item creator Gianni IV designed the items that are presently in the possession of billions of individuals. Then, at that point, there are the groups that make an organization all in all. There have been situations when greater organizations have procured new companies just to acquire those individuals. No one in your organization ought to be indispensable, yet the harder to replace certain individuals are the more important of a resource they are to you, so ensure that they're valued. Recruit the ideal individuals and they'll make you rich. Number 6. Royalties. A royalty is a lawfully restricting installment made to an individual or organization for the continuous utilization of their resources, including protected works, establishments, and regular assets. An example of royalties would be installments gotten by artists when their unique tunes are played on the radio or TV, utilized in films, performed at shows, bars, and cafes, or consumed through streaming services. Much of the time, royalties are income generators explicitly intended to remunerate the owners of tunes or property when they permit out their resources for another party's utilization. We'll give you another example. An author might receive a share of the proceeds from the sales of their book. An example of the royalty structure could be that the author receives 15% on net sales of hardbacks and 7.5% on net sales of paperbacks. Number 7. Time money, time arbitrage. You probably won't have the monetary assets to buy each of the resources referenced. However, you truly do have a resource that you can trade for cash. This is the way you get rich with the time money, time arbitrage. So what does this mean? The time money, time arbitrage implies you utilize your opportunity to produce cash and afterward utilize the cash to purchase others' time. This is the manner by which you dramatically develop time working for you. I realize it may sound confusing from the outside, yet we will in any case make it easy for you. Essentially, your responsibility is to recognize amazing opportunities where you can change over time into cash. You do that for quite a while until you have sufficient funds to get someone else on the grounds that you've produced this opportunity. Each entrepreneur out there comprehends this approach, however, not very many others are familiar with this. We recommend you should adopt the thought process of an entrepreneur. Number 8. Cash. Cash resources are any financial asset that may promptly be changed over to cash. These resources frequently hold significant degrees of liquidity and might be utilized to guarantee the monetary capacity of an organization or individual to lead everyday tasks. Such asset might treasury bills, money market reserves, commercial papers, and different resources that might be changed over to cash without any problem. So for what reason do rich individuals keep such a decent part of their abundance in cash reserves? One of the primary motivations behind why rich individuals save tax is that they can get better yields directly from cash bargains. In addition, you can loan cash with high interest. This is called peer-to-peer lending. Assuming you're coming up short on pay and willing to take the risk, there are a lot of platforms out there that deal with peer-to-peer lending. Essentially, you loan individuals your cash and they pay you back with interest. The normal bank offers under 1% interest on your deposit, while peer-to-peer lending fluctuates from 7 to as high as 15 to 20%. However, kindly remember to always keep a rational mind when investing. Number 9. Bonds. Whenever the government or businesses may be needing cash, they can issue something many refer to as bonds, which gets offered to the intrigued investors. Through these bonds, the public authority or the business promises to pay the individual purchasing the bonds as a specific measure to cash consistently. For the most part, bonds have an expiry date on them from 1 month as long as 30 years. These are really protected ventures since they're, for the most part, upheld by the public authority. However, as you presumably know at this point, low risk in business means low rewards too. Bonds are normally in the 3% yearly return range, which is superior to what most banks offer, yet not high enough to get a beginner investor interested when the bonds reaches its end of the principal amount. The primary ways individuals purchase bonds are 1. Directly from the Treasury Division, or 2. Through a brokerage firm. Number 10. Mutual and index funds. Mutual and index funds unite numerous companies, so you're getting tied up with the whole bin of companies in general. It's more broad, so it's a more secure venture to make. Statistically, index funds are the best performing asset class. The 5 most well-known index funds are the following: Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index, Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust, iShares Core S&P 500 ETF, and Schwab S&P 500 Index Fund. You're bound to mess up if you want to purchase stocks one at a time. You're not going to be one of those miracle brokers that beats the market year over year. You don't have that sort of information, and it's really confounding to attempt to compete with the top men. That is the place where index funds come in. S&P 500 unites the best 500 performing companies when an organization tumbles off the best 500. It gets replaced with another one who performs well. The average annualized total return of the S&P 500 index throughout the course of recent years is 9.8%. Out of the 5, Vanguard is our top pick. Index funds should be in the portfolio of every individual who's hoping to create financial stability in the long run. Number 11. Patents. Patents give way for businesses to protect their ideas safe from other users, basically for a while. Since patents are assets for companies, financial backers really must know how to ascertain a patent's worth and record for it. Whenever you have a new idea, you can ensure your invention by documenting a patent. It's a report that affirms you as the creator and depicts exhaustively what your innovation is. With this insurance setup, organizations need to pay cash to utilize your innovation. In the event that they don't, you get to sue them. Patents are inconceivably strong and insignificant in the business world. A solitary patent can make you rich, and the very best innovations are supported by patent. If you remember the Slinky, it made more than $300 million in deals. Scott Stillinger created the Koosh ball, which got purchased out by Hasbro for $100 million. And the list goes on. Number 12. Brand and Goodwill. For entrepreneurs, maintaining a strong brand value is essential. Regardless of whether you're an automotive dealer in a small town or a national marketing agency, your business brand is equal to the business success. An association with high quality and high customer satisfaction means it's easier to expand in size or offerings, whereas a bad brand association means you have to first overcome the lack of brand value to establish a new business line or expand. Just like brand value, goodwill is an intangible asset that acts as a value for normally unquantifiable intangible assets. Goodwill is determined when one company acquires another. For example, if Company A acquires Company B for $100 million, and Company B has a value of $90 million based on all identifiable tangible and intangible assets, then Company B has goodwill worth of $10 million. For an entrepreneur, boosting brand value often results in long-term success. And in the context of selling the company, goodwill is the calculation of that intangible value. Number 13. Raw materials. Raw materials and commodities, depending on the market, the price of raw materials and commodities fluctuates and varies. If you're smart about it, you buy it when it is in low value, hold it and sell it when it's in high demand. This applies to everything in life, from currency to oil, to gold, to crypto, to luxury cars and art. Over the past 15 years, the price of gold has increased by 278%. Very few people know this, but art as an alternative asset class has been outperforming the S&P for the past 20 years. This is one of the integral reasons why you see the well-off individuals dropping significant amounts of money on art because it's making them even richer. The same goes with a vintage vehicle. While your car is costing you money, probably the richest individuals in the world are buying rare vintage cars that are quickly appreciating in value. The same goes for luxury watches. Number 14. Digital courses, content, books, and songs. Digital contents, courses, books, and songs are incredible things to sell these days. These types of assets can increase the value of your business and can also make you very rich. The moment your product is done, your main goal is to promote it and reach as many people as you can. With music, just make your song a hit and you can literally be set for life. Did you know Mariah Carey makes around $500,000 ever since her hit song All I Want for Christmas Is You was released? That song alone has made her over $60 million. Number 15. First mover advantage. First mover advantage and proprietary business model. Whenever you develop your business, this advancement is viewed as an asset. The App Store by Apple is one of those advancements. The way that Netflix was selling DVDs to streaming services has been viewed as a truly important asset for the company. While everyone else was on the sidelines, it gave them the chance to acquire market share. It required a few years for the other companies to make up for lost time, and now streaming sites are all over. The same thing happened to music. You used to buy actual collections then. Now, you simply pay for Spotify titles or YouTube Premium. Airbnb flipped the lodging business with a better approach to leasing transient facilities. I know we've promised you 15 assets, but because of your support, we want to give back and share with you one more. It's called the unique rights. We felt like this should also be on the list since there are cases where there might be unfair competitive advantage in some gatherings, which can be considered as an asset. For example, in some parts of the world, churches are run like businesses where they don't have to pay taxes. The same goes for the brotherhood organizations and art museums. Also in the US, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act gives Indian natives their rights to all gambling activities that are regulated by law. We are glad you've made it this far. We hope we've satisfied your thirst for financial knowledge. Now that we've tackled all of the assets, tell us in the comments which of these assets do you plan on securing in the future. Thank you for staying with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you'll never miss out on any of our videos.